Okay, testing, testing, testing. 1, 2. All right, camera is clear, right? All right. Assalamualaikum and good morning, everybody. Okay, good morning, Anes. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Christina, Mia, Aimi, Zatunisa, Afe, Khadija, Iza, Anis, Sabrina. Who's DV? Farah. Good morning, Farah. Okay. I hope everything is clear. I need to find. Hold on. I need to find a place to put my paper. Just give me a second. Yeah, where did I put it? I think it should be not here. My audio is loud and clear, right? Can you guys hear me? Oh, selamat pagi. Yeah, betul. Alright, let me see. Where did I put my camera? There you go. Camera stand is here. So this should actually help a bit more. Okay, then just let me get a piece of paper. You can hear me, that's good. Alright. Alright, great. So everybody's on. Let me see how many are online. This is the awesome part. I can actually check everything. I can check who's online, who's what you call this, who is not active, who's lurking. So this is a lot of fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. And how many of you are sharing phones at the moment? Just let me set this up for a while. Waalaikum salam, Arlena. Ooh. And one nice thing I like is that when I see the names, it actually helps me remember you guys better. So, okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. I know that's very, very. Yeah, I use a dual monitor setup at home. So that's how I do my streams and stuff usually. So I want to point this. Yeah. So that way I can actually. Oh god, my bed is messy actually. Oh god, this thing won't stand in place. Just give me a second to set this up and not make it look awkward. Right, great. So you can see my what you call my hand, right? So I can show papers to you guys. That's just nice. Is this angle comfortable or not in the first place? Hold on, I want to find a good angle for you guys. Or maybe I should put the camera. Where should I put the camera? Is this a good location for the camera? Let me see. Can you guys read this? Hold on. I should place this camera somewhere else. Maybe I should. Oh, not this one. You're sharing with Sarah. Right. DV. Who are you, DV, by the way? My webcam should be there. I think that's more practical, right? So I should push my laptop there a bit. And. Just nice. Just nice. So all you see is just my face and my hands here, right? This is one reason why I love technology. Technology just changes the way you do work. So first of all, good morning everybody. Yeah, sorry I couldn't make it physically to class, and a little bit of a PSA public service announcement here. One thing I have to say is that make sure you take care of your health while you can, alright? So if you guys feel like you have a fever or you have any body pain of any kind, make sure you get professional treatment and make sure you get enough rest, or you don't delay treatment for whatever illness you have, whether it's physical illness or whether you feel like you're going to have a fever or flu, whatever it is, get checked and get enough rest, alright? So over the years, I've kind of injured and hurt certain body parts in my right leg. I don't really tell people about it because I don't I don't want people to think I'm begging for sympathy. But yeah, I think starting last semester, my right leg has been in quite extreme pain. So a lot of you can see my coffee there. Hold on. That's the thing. I forget that today I have two cameras on. So yeah, So make sure you guys take care of your health. Your health is most important, which is why normally for my classes, if you guys have any illness, I normally will just, no questions asked, take a rest first. We'll discuss about your MC and stuff later, right? Because you only have one body. Once you lose control of it, once it gets injured or damaged, it's going to be quite critical, right? All right, so good morning, everybody. So before we start today's topic, we're going to start a new topic today, by the way, all right? We have, I think, 3 more topics left to cover for your upcoming midterm, which would be inductive and deductive thinking. We have to cover standards of thinking, and we have to cover the thinker's keys. Now, I know some of you are referring to the outline, the course outline. And by the way, I'll open the WhatsApp group at the same time whenever needed, so don't worry. Where's my WhatsApp group? Okay. So there'll be times, where I might change the order or, the susunan lah, basically, right? I might teach in a slightly different order. That's because I feel, that certain chapters are easier to understand if you did something before that, basically, all right? So just give me a second to look for, okay, hold on, this is 793. All right, I'll give you guys a short activity for a while, all right? So are you guys in your mahalah room or in the classroom right now? Do let me know. And this is how I can check whether you're really there or you're just putting the phone away or not. So where are you guys now? The room, mahala? Ooh, mahala. Is the Wi-Fi stronger in the library? I heard the library Wi-Fi is quite good compared to everywhere else. Mahala, Khalil. Ooh. Did you guys have class in the morning at 8 a.m. or no classes? So I assume you all are still in your bedroom and relaxed. Who is Gulu Gulu Lululu? Oh my god, I like that name. Seriously, I really like a lot of those, how do I call that, those creative names that I would have never thought of. I cannot be bothered to what you call this, come up with a fancy nickname, so I just use my name for everything and anything. So yeah, so who is, oh no, roll, how did your name became Gulu Gulu Lululu? Oh, only my class? Oh my god. Only one class a day, so now all of you guys can relax, and that's nice. That's nice. It's nice everyone can relax today. That's good. Let's all relax. I'm in my t-shirt, and you all can wear whatever you want as well. Great thing about online class, right? Hey, wait, who was that messaging me? All right, let's see. Where's the file? Okay, so we already finished. Let's do a recap. All right, we already finished tafakkur. We already finished court. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Can you guys read this, or should I reverse my... Hold on. I should reverse this, actually. Gulai? Why gulai? That is very, very funny. Hold on. How do I configure this video thingy? I don't follow advanced settings. I think this should be easier. Alright, so I reversed it. So now you can actually read. Let me see. Let's try. Yeah, you can see it, right? Oh, it's upside down. What the heck? Oh, no. I need to check the webcam position. No. It doesn't make sense if the webcam is there, actually. Because I haven't done the dual webcam thing in a long time. Normally, I use 2 webcams if I'm playing video games and I want to show people my controller, like, yeah, I'm a real human playing games here. I'm not a machine or whatever, So what I'll do is, okay, you know what? I should put the camera here. Yeah, that makes more sense, right? I should put the camera here. So I need my stand. Okay, my table is rather messy. Oh, by the way, say hello to my, yeah, my figurines there. Okay, whatever. Yeah, this makes more sense. So this acts like a whiteboard of sorts lah. Oh god, my table's so small. Okay, hold on a sec. Hello, Mario. Yeah, Mario says hi there. All right. Oh, Princess. Yeah, I'm a huge Mario fanboy. So, hi Mario. Ha ha ha. Okay, we'll have a tour of the room later. All right. Okay, you can see my camera here on the camera, right? Camera on the camera, whatever. Okay, so we already covered court. Okay. I hope my voice is not too loud or pecah or anything. If it's too loud for your eardrums, let me know, yeah? Okay, let me just move this webcam. Oh wait, this webcam should go there. Alright, so under CORT, okay, remember that CORT stands for Cognitive Research Trust. So it's basically a foundation or institution which is founded by Edward de Bono. All right, he's a researcher for thinking basically, and he has been to Malaysia to give talks about creative thinking methods. And we have covered, let's see, we've covered PMI. That's the very first. What else have we covered, guys? We have covered AGO, CAF, FIP. That was yesterday. That was 2 days ago, right? And then we covered OPV, we've covered CNS, and I believe we've covered APC, right? Okay, before I move on, is there anything in the, oh my god, it's my hand. Is there anything in the list that you need me to re-explain? OPV is there in the list. It's right here, OPV there. So is there anything that you need me to like re-explain, or anything that, yeah, CNS is right there. Okay. This mini webcam has very blurry focus. Is there like anything that you want to re-explain? Okay, oh, okay, OPV. Let's start with OPV first. Okay, so OPV is basically other people's view. Okay, so when we talk about other people's view, it's about how other people would see or perceive or feel about things. So you have to be very, very careful. It's about other people. It's not about what you think. It's about you trying to see how other people would see something. Okay, so let's say the situation, okay, this came out in the exam, I think last 2 years, right? So I think the exam question said that your nauzubillah, your sister is addicted to alcohol, all right? So you and your sister, there are two people involved. Other people will be outside that, so other than you and your sister. So be very careful, because sometimes we think, oh, your sister, and then, oh, you are the other person. Nope. Depends on the situation. So other people is outside, all right? And then how they would think, all right? So you have to be very, very specific here. And the question for this is always a situation based. So you're given a situation and you have to provide, let's say, for example, if you were to send your friend to jail, for example, how would other people think about that? So you normally have to choose at least 4 different groups of people with completely different views. So be careful. Don't say mother and then father separately, all right? They are considered as one, parents. So be very careful, all right? Some are, one category, some are actually 2 categories. CNS, consequence and sequel. Always remember, you're going to divide this into 4 time spans. You have the immediate effect. You have the, oh my god, my writing is not clear on the webcam, right? Hold on. Is that clear? Do I have to like wipe the lens or something? I haven't used this one in a while actually. Yeah, I have all the gadgets here at home. Immediate effect, you have the short-term effect. You have the medium-term effect. And you have the long-term effect, all right? Now, different books will give you different time spans, but CNS is basically about imagining the effects. Always remember, CNS is about the effects of something. So let's say the effects of stealing. Immediate, well, you get money. Short term, you start doing more crime and stuff like that, and yeah, so on and so forth, right? So you have to be able to think about a certain thing's effects in different time spans, all right? Now, APC. APC is a very unique one because there are many things you can do with APC, all right? You can talk about, okay, because it's alternatives, possibilities, and choices. So if you talk about, you can choose either one of them, or you can use all three of them or two of them, up to you. So if it's the choices part, you just list out what are the possible choices. Let's say, for example, okay. Oh, whoa, sorry about that. I am so wild with my hands. Okay, let's say, for example, all right. Let's talk about studying, all right? What choices of courses you have? You can list all the possible choices. Possibilities. Where can you study? Maybe you want to study abroad. Maybe you want to study, or not study at all. Maybe you want to do an online business, and so on and so forth. So it's basically about listing things that people don't normally do. All right. APC is actually easy if it comes out. All right. APC is one of the easiest and also the fun one. All right. So yeah, there you go. So I believe PMI is easy for all of you, right? I don't think PMI is that difficult. Okay, anything else for me to explain before I move on? Because I want to really start with the next one, which is thinker. Okay, so I assume there's nothing because everybody is silent. Because in the Malay culture, we say that diam tu tanda setuju. I hope that's the case here lah, alright? I just hope lah. All right, so I'm gonna explain about thinker's keys. This is the next chapter. Okay, so thinker's keys, kunci fikir. I don't know how I'm translating that correctly. All right, so thinker's key is kind of like a, is it a formula? No, formula is not the right word, but it's basically a way of thinking, which is founded by a guy by the name of Tony Ryan. All right. I'll give you guys the PDF file on this later on. There's actually a PDF file for this, right? So Tony Ryan, okay, yeah, so you have Edward De Bono for court. Tony Ryan came out with Thinker's Keys. If you're checking the course outline, this is actually on chapter 6, the one after De Bono's court, all right? So he has his own techniques for creative thinking, for coming up with ideas, all right? So he only has around 5 ideas. We have the reverse, we have the what if, we have the disadvantages, and we have the combination technique, and we have bar. All right, wait, can you see that? Yeah, there are 5 there. So only 5. So for what's the name of that guy again? For court, you have 7. Tony Ryan, you have 5. All right. So I'll start with the easier ones first, okay? And thankfully, it's actually arranged in order, okay? The first one is called the reverse. Okay, what is the reverse? Wait, my WhatsApp is really, really being noisy, so I should, hold on, use here. Okay, so the reverse means you reverse things. Literally, you terbalik, alright? Why? Because sometimes if you do things in reverse, you actually come up with things you have never done before. Okay, let's say for example, all right, when you wake up, what do you do first? Okay, guys, let's check. Are you guys really there, or are you just present but not really present? What are the things you do before you come to class? Phone, okay. Baca Alhamdulillah, baca doa, check your phone. That's all, just doa and phone. Life is not that simple, guys. Gosok gigi. Okay. So, by the way, tell in order, dalam susunan, what do you do first? Do you do the phone first ke? Minum air dulu ke? Shower first ke? Baju dulu ke? But then be logical lah. Don't tell me you pakai baju first, then you go to the shower. That is rubbish, okay? Nobody puts on their clothes first and then go for a shower unless you want to shower with your clothes on. Oh, wow, I feel grateful you guys actually mentioned baca doa first. That's actually very, very nice. So I assume, okay, phone first and then, okay, solat dulu ke phone first? Ooh, phone, shower, solat. Wish. Solat first then shower. Wow, interesting. Alhamdulillah, phone for parents. I like hearing that. All right, always love your parents if you still have them. All right, because you never know when you'll ever lose the chance to be your parents. So always do that. Tengok jam. Wow. All right. So all of us have a different way of doing things in life, right? Why not one day, maybe tomorrow or tonight or whatever, whenever it is, change the order of doing things. Okay, maybe let me see. Let's quote. Okay, what can I? You didn't do anything right after wake up. Alhamdulillah, drink tahajud, mandi, baju subuh, push up sempat tu, breakfast class. Okay, try to see what you can change in terms of the order, because sometimes when you do things in a different order, you discover new things, you discover new ideas. So let's see, for example, okay, of course, solat is important. You cannot reverse solat. And by the way, speaking of solat, make sure you don't do things in a different order. Don't do tahiyat first and then no, that's nonsense. Some things cannot be reversed. Okay, so let's say, for example, let me see. Okay, some of you solat first and then you shower, right? Why not try showering before solat? Maybe that changes the way you see things. Maybe that changes the way you do things, all right? Because, sometimes if we solat first and then shower, maybe the way we solat might not have enough khusyuk, maybe it might not, feel good because we are still, with all the ideobasi and all that, right? So the way we do things, when we reverse things, it makes us think differently, and it makes us sometimes just changing the order really, 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 really changes things. All right. What else can I say? I'm waiting for a certain answer here. By the way, push up, tengok jam. How many of you would put the phone last? Try this. And I know that phone is always one of the earliest things you do when you wake up, right? Try doing it last. You might be surprised how it changes things, all right? Oh, Shikin, you actually checked the phone last. Good for you. Because, studies have shown that phone addiction is a very real thing, all right? But just try one day and then let me know in the group, how do you feel when you touch your phone last? Kan when you wake up, like, they have half an hour to mandi, solat, makan, all that, right? And normally we touch our phones first, right? Why not touch the phone either when you want to leave the room or masuk kelas baru touch the phone? Try that. And just tell me how it goes. This is the reverse concept, when you do things in reverse. Certain things cannot be reversed, certain things can be. Okay, another thing that you might want to okay. How many of you love eating fish? Last nanti class cancel. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, some cases you have to check the phone lah. True about that, okay. Now, how many of you suka makan ikan? Fish. Oh yeah, you guys don't have a separate alarm clock, is it? Oh, alright, alright. Okay, most like fish. Fish goreng. Seriously, you call it fish goreng. You guys are funny. Alright. So anyway, gulai ikan. Okay, let's talk about gulai ikan, right? Or kari ikan or ikan dengan kuah. If it's chicken, fine, chicken. Let me ask you, when you eat rice, kuah, and lauk, which one do you eat first? Let's say you have one plate of rice. Okay, my hand's not really rice, but never mind, all right? Okay, let's draw here. Okay, let's say you have a plate here, and then some rice, and then the kuah, the gravy there, and then the chicken or the fish or whatever it is, right? Which one do you touch first? The rice or the chicken or the kuah? And then if it's fish, which part of the fish do you touch first? The head or the badan or the fin? Gaul kuah dulu, put the fish, then you eat. Oh my god, now I want fish for. Oh my god, I think I'm having fish for lunch later. So, God, I have to wait. The middle, the isi. So one thing you notice, right? We all have our habits. We have a certain order, a certain susunan of doing things, right? Try changing it. Let's say, for example, I'm going to quote, let's see.
So Christina, she gaul kuah dulu, then put the fish, then you eat. Why not you take the fish first, then the kuah after that? Try. You might get a different experience. You never know, all right? Sometimes, changing the order of things totally changes everything, all right? So that's basically the reverse technique. It's very simple. You just terbalikkan. It's very, very simple, all right? And it's a bit too simple that, hint, hint, it rarely comes out in the exam. It has come out, but it's a very rare and unpopular one simply because it's too simple. That's the balikkan things. It's more of a personal technique that makes you, look at things a bit differently. Because the reasoning behind that is we are creatures of habit. Kita terbiasa do things in a certain way that sometimes we are not willing to, change the way we do things. So something as simple as just changing the order of the way we do things might change everything. Oh, speaking of drinking water first, there are studies that actually, what you call this? Talk about the benefits of starting your day by drinking water, especially if it's detox water, like you add just a lemon or a cucumber or a slice of apple. It really changes things. Try that, all right? So that's the reverse. Reverse is a very simple technique. What if is even more interesting and easy? You might notice that Tinker's Keys is actually easier than Chord to a certain extent. Okay, what if just do a mind map? Okay, let's say for example, you hope reverse. Here's the thing: I did not make the paper for thinking skills this semester, so it's kind of hard to tell you what is coming out. Okay, anyway, what if? All right. So let's say I give you a situation. Okay, studies. So what if just make a mind map of the possibilities of what if it's something else. For example, what if I am not studying? So let's say you put here X study. You're not studying, all right? Then do another mind map, okay, from there, another branch. So if you're not studying, guys, let's say you choose not to pursue your studies. What would you do? What would you do? It'll be interesting to hear from you guys. Yeah, what would you guys do if you guys never registered for university? Will you guys work? Oh, work, okay. Other than work? Online business. Oh, a lot of businesses, huh? Kerja, work, fika comel. What? Marry, my god. Seriously? Sleep? Oh my god. So kalau study tak tidur? Kalau study tak kahwin? What? You guys are funny. Join the army? Ooh, interesting. I only had like one former student ke two former students who considered the army. Bu Mael, what, kahwin? Oh my god, everybody's giving kahwin. Oh my god, army BTS, yeah. Oh my god, army mana ni? Oh my god. So that's if you tak study. How about this? What if, in terms of studies, you are gaming? Husna, are you a gamer? Seriously? Husna's a gamer? Okay, let's say studies kan, duduk rumah, kemas rumah. Oh, so kalau study tak kemas rumah ke? Or I assume you have more time to kemas rumah if you're not studying, or you have more time to travel, I guess. So sometimes when you do those branches, right, ask yourself, will you be doing those things if you are studying? Sometimes yes, but we just think of that first for a different reason, right? Study kat mahalah, rumah kat rumah. Rumah kat rumah, so what do you mean, Farah? Kemas mahalah you study. Army Syahid, la ilaha illallah, korang ni kan. Funny betul. You guys never fail to amuse me. All right. How about this? Let's say in terms of studies, what if you were not a Mahcom student? What if you guys were law students? What would your life be like if you were a law student? Let's try that. Oh, I think my writing's not clear, by the way. Let me yeah, in studies. Let's say Ashik speaking. Really? Do you have any law friends? Come on, how do I take off this thingamajig? Wait. Oh, okay, there you go. Okay, this is too low, right? But never mind. I'll just hold it lah. Oh, I think the focus is very bad today. Super busy hafal. So Makom tak ada hafal ke? Makom doesn't have any what do you call this? What you call this? Memorization going on? Okay, that should be clearer, I think. Not as much as law students. Oh, law students have the most memorization in your opinion. Interesting. Hari-hari hafal akta. Need a lot of facts. So makom no facts ke? Is that it? Or what if you guys were, let me give another course. What if you guys were bar students or RCom students? How would it be like for you all? Lah, makom tak jumpa kawan baru ke? Kesiannya. I don't think so. Mail. Stress. Not good in Arab. Oh ya, stress kalau masuk bar. Kan hari-hari cakap Arab kan. Kita orang tak menarik ke? La ilaha illallah. You guys are struggling in Arab. Oh, you guys are taking Arabic this semester, right? Or how about this? What if you were studying... What if you guys were studying in Australia? What would life be like if you are currently studying in Australia? That's a random country I gave, by the way. How would you guys feel like? Outcome student refer to kamus. Ooh, you feel homesick and all that. Hold on a sec, yeah. New English slang. Oh, because you're from Australia, right? Less intake of rice? Seriously? Oh, interesting. All right, so you see, the thing about the what if technique is that it makes you think of situations you normally wouldn't think of. Because normally we are often in our comfort zone, all right? So when you list of different possibilities, let's say what if you did a certain situation, you'll be thinking like, hey, yeah, maybe I can do that, or maybe I should consider doing that, right? Because especially our culture, kita ni, we are like so used to just accepting things as they are and not trying to do new things, right? But when you have the what if, for example, let's say, what if you were dismissed from URA? What would you do? Let's do another one here. Let's say, what if you were dismissed? What would you do, guys, if you're dismissed? Would you appeal? Would you work? Would you go for a different university? Eating Maggie every day is, oh my god. Cry? Pindah UITM? Your mother killed you? Oh my god. Alright. Apply UP using SPM. Ooh, okay. So you see, when you think of what if, you will sometimes think of things you've never thought before. And sometimes you never consider these options, right? So whenever you're stuck in life, you might want to try the what if technique. And of course, when you have what if, sometimes you should try those possibilities you never considered, all right? Because sometimes you're just so comfortable. Pindah metric balik. Oh, you're from metric last time? That's interesting. All right. Now let's go for the last three. This is a very fast chapter, by the way. It's a very relaxed and fun chapter, right? Okay, let's talk about the this. Okay, sorry, my camera is not focusing well. Okay, this mini webcam I'm holding here. You can see this, by the way. Yeah, yeah, you can see. I can see everything here. That's how my screen works. That's my software. That's my other monitor, and so on and so forth. Where was I? Where was I? The disadvantages technique. Okay. Now, the disadvantages, you list everything that's bad about it. I know this feels like, why do I have to think negatively about something, right? But here's the thing, there are times when thinking about the bad stuff actually helps a lot. And why is that? Let's say you are choosing between multiple things, all right? And then you list out all the disadvantages. You just focus on the bad, right? And then you compare which one has more negatives than the other. A lot of times that can actually help you, make a better decision. So let's say, for example, you want to do your project. This is a good case, right? So for your project, let's say you have three choices. You want to just interview a friend, or you want to interview someone outside campus, or you want to interview someone overseas. List out the disadvantages of each of them. That might help you choose. All right. And there are many ways to actually do this. Sometimes it is the best to choose the one with the least disadvantages. Sometimes, not all the time. And then there are sometimes you think the one with the most disadvantages is the worst. But the thing is, look back at those disadvantages. Are those really disadvantages, or are those actually your fears? All right? Because sometimes we think it's bad, but we haven't tried it out. So that's why sometimes it's important to list things out, and then not just simply list and then say, okay, this is it, bye bye. No, list it out and then have a deep reflection session. Like, is this really a problem? Is this really a disadvantage? Is it just me, or is it everyone else? It really helps, all right? It really, really helps. It's a simple technique. This is more of like a life technique, if you ask me, all right? And then when you list a disadvantage, also list, well, Tony Ryan calls it your improvement, all right? So you listed a negative thing, a disadvantage, a con, or something that is bad. What can you do about it? Are you just going to let the bad thing be that way? No, right? You have to actually do something about it. What would you do about that bad thing? Okay, I'll give an example, right? Most of you eat Maggie very often, right? I mean, especially when you're saving money and all that, right? Okay, what's the biggest disadvantage of eating Maggie regularly? What's the disadvantage of that? Unhealthy, right? Okay, what else? It's unhealthy, tak cukup zat, not enough nutrient. Oh, cancer. Yeah, yeah. Cancer usus and rawat gugur. So let's say, all right, you are eating Maggie. You realize a disadvantage. What are you going to do about it? Because, and this is very, very relevant in Malaysian society. Because if you look at Malaysian society, right, we are always told what is the negative and what is the bad, but we are not told what to do. For example, right, if you look at, I trust that none of you smoke. If you do smoke, please get help. All right, in Kuantan campus, we actually have an expert in something called smoking cessation, which is basically a technology that helps you, overcome smoking addiction. One of Southeast Asia's experts is actually a URA lecturer in Kuantan. If you are addicted to smoking, please get help. We have the experts, all right? Okay, enough of promoting URA here. The thing here is, oftentimes, okay, if you look at kotak rokok, all right, they list the disadvantage there. Okay, rokok menyebabkan cancer, rokok menyebabkan penyakit, and then they have a very gruesome picture, right? You all know this, right? But then What do we do? Oh, did I just automatically zoom in with my camera? That is awesome. I pressed a button by accident. Okay. Did are we told what to do? No. So here's the thing. Telling people what is bad does not do anything. It's just, it gets to a point where you become what's the Malay word? Become, is it lali? Is that the word? You become like immune to it because macam okay, people say it's bad. Okay, so I'm still alive, so I do it lah. So that's why if you just simply say what is bad, it doesn't really do much. So how Tony Ryan changed this is once you list what is bad, you have to tell what to do. How do you improve the situation? So let's say, for example, smoking is bad for health. Okay, everybody knows it's bad. Nobody is going to say that smoking masuk syurga. That is crap. All right, nobody has ever said that smoking masuk syurga. So fine, smoking is bad, but what do we do? What should the smokers do? What can they do to become better people? We like to say that, for example, pornography is bad. Pornography jahat, menjadikan kita blah 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 blah. What do? We like to tell people that, oh, tinggal solat tu berdosa, nanti muka tak berseri lah, tak dapat hidayah lah, tak dapat pahala. Yeah, we tell them they're doing wrong, but what are we doing to improve them? How do we tell them to become better Muslims? We say that, oh, tak tutup aurat tu haram, right? For example. So how can we help them then? Are we doing anything to help them? Exactly. That's sarcasm. And here's the thing: sarcasm, in that kind of method. Okay, my wife is better at this. Of course, she specializes in this part of psychology. She's a psychology lecturer, by the way. And she specializes in learning and development and all that, educational psychology to be exact. So I would refer to her on this part. If my wife is watching this, correct me if I'm wrong, please. But the whole buat lah tengok macam mana tu is not really good because sometimes kids need to be told what to do. All right. So this is a very powerful technique again. What is it that we can do? Because a lot of times people know what is wrong, but they actually don't know how to get out of the wrong. So when we think about improvements, when we think about solutions, we actually solve problems. And to me personally, this is why it's hard for us Muslims to actually solve a lot of problems. For example, like we know the war in Palestine or the crisis in Syria. So we always have these donation drives and we show pictures of the problems. Yeah, they're at war. This is a disadvantage. Blah blah blah. Then what? What can we do about it other than donating? What can we do about it other than jihad? We're not really told how important the Muslims are. We're always told that the Muslims start unite. So what do we do? What are the ways we can improve the situation? All right. So this is the disadvantage technique. Again, it sounds very simple on paper, and in fact, I think in the book it's only like half a page, a quarter page. It's only one paragraph, two paragraph, but the power of it, wow! You know, just by thinking of something bad and then trying to think of the good of it, all right? It reminds me of this Malay proverb, apa buang yang keruh ambil yang jernih, kan? But this is more like ambil yang keruh and jernihkan dia. More like that, all right? So that's the disadvantage technique. Okay, so far the three techniques. So I thought reverse, I thought what if, I thought disadvantages. Any questions you want to ask? Anything that you want me to clarify? And what do you think of this particular chapter so far? Easy or hard or complicated? One thing I like about live classes, I can actually drink very easily while teaching, which is quite nice. Yeah, I would agree. Tony Ryan, you can Google him by the way, Tony Ryan and then thinking. He is a very straightforward person. Very, very straightforward. And in fact, in some countries in the world, these techniques are being taught to, what you call this, budak tadika, kindergarten students. These techniques are taught in sekolah rendah and kindergarten. All right. I'm not saying that the West is better than the East. I believe that every country has its strengths and weaknesses. All right. But this is probably one of the reasons why Western society tends to be more creative, because they learn this at a very, very young age. Okay, gulu gulu lululu. Yes, you have to put the improvement, because if you just list the disadvantages, so what? Everybody knows the disadvantage. For example, everybody knows that smoking is bad. Everybody knows that ponteng class is bad. Everybody knows that baby dumping is bad. So what are you going to improve about it? And to me, disadvantages is actually one of the most powerful ones. And one thing I like is that as the subject progresses, it gets more fun. So don't worry. Okay. Anything else? Any questions? I think so far you guys are fine, right? This is way easier to understand compared to the confusing CAF, FIP, and AGO, right? Yeah, these three are easy to confuse. You'll do exercise later, right? Okay, so next, let's go to the really fun ones. Combination and bar, BAR, right? Let's go to combination first. Okay, combination is incredibly interesting, all right? It's about combining, but combining two things that people don't normally combine, all right? Okay, the whole point of the combination technique is sometimes when we add things which we think do not suit each other, we ask ourselves, hey, what? It's a bit like what if, but we are doing it to a combination of two things that people normally don't combine. And in our life, there are a few things that have become popular or have become a part of our life because somebody thought of combining things. Okay, hold on. Let me find this thing, all right? Okay, so for example, a phone, all right? So when it comes to what you call this, your phone, hold on a sec, let me put this aside. Okay, when you look at your phone, oh, by the way, hi from my toys, they're back there, haha. Okay, so when you look at a phone, once upon a time, phones never had screens, right? It never had a screen. And then suddenly, somebody just chose to add a screen to a phone. And people are like, why the heck do you need a screen for a phone? But now, can you imagine having a phone with no screen at all? So sometimes the combinations which we think are stupid can end up changing life if we are willing to try to combine things, all right? And then think about this. Once upon a time, who would have thought of having a camera on a phone? Why do you need a camera on a phone, right? Now, can you name me a phone that doesn't have a camera? I think everybody has a camera in their phone, right? It's almost Amber at back. Oh, my guitars. Oh, I have different guitars at home here actually. That's another one. That's not Amber. That's Sunny at the back there. But never mind. This is not a guitar class. All right. Okay, Nokia 3310. Oh, the dog killer phone. All right. But anyway, yeah. So what you call this? Now that you have a camera, you can easily snap pictures. You can easily take what you call this selfies and all that. Okay, I'm doing a selfie here, whatever. Hi, Sunny, what? All right, so there you go. And then who would have thought of putting apps in the phone? That's crazy, right? Nobody had. Who was it that was so crazy? Hey, let's put an OS in the phone. Hey, let's put Twitter in the phone. Hey, let's put Facebook in the phone. Hey, let's put what else? Sorry, my camera's being very weird in the focus today. Okay, can you like defocus or something? All right, let's put yeah, all sorts of things on the phone. Once upon a time, people say, "Are you crazy? Nobody wants to check Facebook on the phone. Nobody wants to check Instagram on the phone. Now, how often do you not check social media on the phone? Dog killer, yeah, I call the Nokia 3310 the dog killer because it's so powerful that if you throw it at a dog, the phone will not rosak, and probably the dog will just pass out or lari or die or whatever, and the phone will still survive. That's how durable the 3310 is. Hard like a brick. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say there. Whereas phones of today, if I were to throw this phone, I think the phone will die, not the dog. Quranin phone, la ilaha illallah, sentapku. And yeah, I agree. The 3310 has ridiculous life. And likewise, like online streaming, all right? I'm doing a live stream here. I'm combining it for class. How many people do this? I don't think many, I think very, very few educators are doing what I'm doing. Oh, I remember someone blow the Nokia using a bomb, but the bombs. What? Phone shaming. We are not phone shaming here. I am not paid by any brand to say one phone is better than the other, right? I'm not paid for that, right? Not paid, not paid. But yeah, that's my point here. Combining things that we never combine. Or right now, let's talk about food. Food is the one industry where people are so, the Nokia survived. Yeah, I think the Nokia will survive. The 3310, of course. Again, I'm not paid by Nokia to say that. I'm not. If Nokia is listening to this, please pay me 1,000 ringgit for mentioning this in my class. Thank you. All right. So where was I? Not sponsored. Yeah, food. All right. Who would have thought of combining spaghetti and laksa? Nobody. But that's how laksa Johor is born. And can you imagine laksa Johor without Maggie and chocolate? I don't know. Maybe one day there'll be a trend. Who knows? I don't know. All right. Who would have thought of? I don't know if you guys have been to IKEA or IKEA or however you pronounce it. All right. I know IKEA is in KL and then there's one in Penang. I think in Johor they just opened IKEA. And if you've ever been to IKEA, IKEA is famous for its meatballs. All right. Swedish beef meatballs, halal by the way, right? Now, who the heck in the world eats meatball and jam? Yes, meatball and jam. Logically, like jam dengan roti lah kan, but it works for IKEA meatballs. All right. Okay, I shouldn't be. This is gonna cause a headache, so I'll just put that thing off first. So it works for meatballs. It works. Maggi and rice. Well, then again, people have already tried mixing kway teow and noodles. And it doesn't feel bad, right? Or for example, now we have pisang cheese. Once upon a time, goreng pisang is just goreng pisang lah. Who will combine it with cheese? Now we have pisang cheese lah. And everything has cheese. Nasi goreng cheese, mee goreng cheese, cheesy wedges. Oh my god, I'm hungry now, right? People are trying new combinations to be original. So the combination technique is so powerful. Everything has boba. Semua benda nak tambah that bubble whatever thing, which by the way has a lot of carbohydrates. Yes, salted egg chips lah. Or if you go to He and She Coffee, again, He and She did not pay me for this. I just went there the other day. Salted egg croissant. I was like, wow, salted egg croissant, and you put the salted egg inside the croissant. I was like, wow, this is something different. Boba cake. Oh my god. Thank God nobody mentioned Boba Fett. Otherwise, I'll slap you. Alright, never mind. But yeah, boba cake. If somebody does boba bread, I'll flip over. Or curry boba or whatever. Or boba goreng. Or then again, we have ice cream goreng, a combination that people never thought was possible. And then the other day, oh my god, I don't have it here. Maybe I should ask my wife to show a picture of it. Somebody did sambal cookie. Cookies? You have chocolate chip cookies, you have hazelnut cookies. Some smart fella, I tried it like a couple of days ago, did sambal cookie. I was like, oh my god, it actually exists. It doesn't taste that good though, but point is it exists. Sambal cookie. You can Google that actually. That's so weird. Nasi lemak ice cream by Neri Brown. Yeah, that's a crazy combination. So, Astaghfirullahalazim, kan sambal cookie lah. Ice cream nasi lemak, oh my god. So, the combination technique is how it tastes. It tastes really weird. I didn't like the aftertaste. I mean, the cookie tastes nice, but after you eat it, suddenly there's this weird feeling from the chili, right? But then I don't know. I'm not a fan of sambal together with bread or biscuit. It just doesn't suit me. To me, sambal only works in rice. I wouldn't even add sambal to mee goreng. It just doesn't make sense to me, alright? But that's just me. That's my personal opinion, alright? Sambal strawberry. Oh yes, if you're from Pahang, Cameron Highlands especially, right? Sambal strawberry. I cannot imagine that. But yeah, you guys are thinking of a lot of ideas here, right? That's the combination technique, combining things which you never thought of doing. It can be a product, it can be a job, it can be even in Islam we have combinations. For example, like if you're doing musafir, you have a combination. You combine Zuhur and Asar, you have Salat Jama. It's a combination as well. But please don't do your own ijtihad or don't do your own fatwa. Tiba-tiba, oh sir ajar combination, jom gabung semua solat dalam satu waktu. I'll slap your face. Seriously, don't do that. Don't do that. Nobody combines all 5 solat in one. I will not mengaku lecturer if you ever do that, alright? Religion is religion. Don't change the rules. Okay? Don't combine things that can never be combined in that sense, right? Everything else, feel free to experiment. Of course, if it's halal lah, okay? Alright. So that's a combination technique. So usually in the exam, if it comes out, they will challenge you to combine one thing. They'll tell you what one of it is. Combine it with another thing. And that other thing has to be something that you normally do not associate with it. Okay, let's say for example, I give you what to combine, yeah? Paper. No, paper is boring. Watch. Okay. What can you combine with a watch that people have never done? So people have already done the whole health Fitbit thing. People have done a compass over here. People have even put parts of the phone in a watch. What is it that people haven't put in a watch yet? Let's brainstorm. What do you guys have? And hint, 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 normally Tinker's Keys is something that a lot of people actually score because, especially if you are good at ideas. But in the answer scheme, they like to mention that the idea must be creative. It has to be out of this world and practical. Watch and camera, I believe it actually exists. Yeah, P2. I will mention P2 at the end of this class. Thanks for reminding me, Syed. Totally appreciate it. Watch and camera, okay. Not common. Watch and perfume. Yeah, imagine if like you can set your watch like every 3 hours it sembo perfume so you smell good. That'll be very nice. Ooh, watch and keychain. That's actually an interesting combination. Watch and earpod. Ooh, never thought of that. What else, guys? Watch and power. Whoa. Yeah, imagine if you could wear your power bank like this, and then you just plug in your phone to your watch. Wow. Afik, maybe you should write that down. And if you have a watch and ways, that is actually super practical. Watch and weapon. Ooh, somebody here loves all the spy films. Like the tekan boom letup. That's like a spy thing going on. That's dangerous as well. What else, guys? All right. So I guess you guys see how it works, right? Kingsman. Kingsman's a good film. All right. So that is the combination technique. Okay. I'm gonna have a short 5-minute break here. I need to go wash my face and stuff like that, and wash the dishes and all that. Meanwhile, keep the chat alive. I will still keep this video live, so I'll be back in 3 to 5 minutes. So I'll be back, and please keep the chat alive. Yeah, so be right back starting now.
Testing, testing, one, two, testing, testing. Can you guys hear my voice? I am back. Piduha. Oh, yes, 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 please. Oh, by the way, a little bit of I wouldn't call it a disclaimer, but maybe like a mini Taskira session with me for a while. Um, I don't want to sound preachy or like I'm alim or anything. I don't claim to be a super alim or what person, whatever. But if you guys can, by all means try to do duha. It doesn't have to be too early in the morning, it doesn't have to be too late, because remember waktu duha, the final time for duha is the duha ends 15 minutes before zuhur, right? And now zuhur is quite late, so maybe after class you want to do duha, or maybe after subuh or after breakfast, or maybe in between your morning classes you want to go for duha. Now my point is try doing it, right? Because I don't know how to say this, but it really makes a difference. It really does. It's hard to explain what kind of difference it makes, but you'll feel like, when you start doing things sincerely for Allah,
There'll be a lot of doors that are opened that you never thought actually existed in your life, alright? I used to be like the least religious person in the world once upon a time. So anyone who knows me from the old days would say, Nazrik cakap pasal ni sekarang gila dia ni. But yeah, a bit of taskcraft today. Just try the small changes in habits, change them, and it might really blow your mind. All right. By the way, I hope everybody is still online. I'm still here. Well, that's the thing because I'm at home right now. Why am I watching? Why am I wearing my watch at home? Like, oh, you have to show the whole watch and thing, right? Okay. So yeah, I have my family here and everything. So yeah. And for those who just joined or anybody here who's not my student, yeah, I'm doing my class here because my leg isn't really good. So guys, if you guys feel any pain or any sickness, please see an expert. In my case, because I kind of like delayed this a bit because I've been driving too much. I'm like alternating between KL and Pahang quite regularly because my family and home's in KL, but I'm working in Gambang. So and you drive that often without any rest, it kind of takes a toll on your feet, you know. And if you guys drive, you know that the highway between KL and Pahang, the road is very challenging. It really plays with your leg balancing skills, especially when you that road from Genting Sempah to Bentong. Oh my god, that's a crazy road. The LPT, the Pantai Timur Highway, is actually quite easy, but the Bentong Highway is quite a challenge, so it's kind of taken a toll on my feet. I don't really like talking about this in class usually because I don't want to make people pity me, but yeah. But anyway, I am back, and is my microphone working right now? Is my voice clear? Can you guys hear me? Because semua orang tengah duha ni. Wish, kalau duha, alhamdulillah. And you notice you might actually notice that I really love this chapter a lot because this chapter is, I would call it the introspective chapter. It's a chapter that is very much applicable to our everyday life, and it can really make you, you know, think about how we do things, and it's about changing things. Actually, this whole subject is about, you know, improving the way we do things. And the next part after this is something that is so important and powerful. But I have to finish this part first, all right? So we covered reverse, we've covered or if, we've covered disadvantages, we covered combination, and we covered bar. All right, we haven't covered bar yet, sorry. So out of the, and sorry that my camera is being very weird here. I don't know why it's not focusing properly. Let me change the settings. But anyway, anything that you feel I need to re-explain, please let me know. And by the way, now that you guys have actually tried my online class, how do you feel about the online class? Is it good? Is it easy for you guys? Because one thing I like about online classes is, you know, that you feel more comfortable. You don't have to dress up, especially if it's a weekend or a day with no classes. You know, you're less tired and all that. And I don't know, I always find that, you know, sometimes when you're in class, you know, rasa macam takut nak participate and all that, you know, it can happen. I mean, I was like that last time as well. But I'm so surprised that everybody is more participative in what you call this? Yeah, itulah. When I first mentioned this class, you all macam nak tak nak aja. Now you all like do often please. Funny lah korang ni. Yeah, and what you call this? Not to brag or anything, I am one of the few lecturers in URA who actually does online classes. URA is aware of this, by the way, all right? And when I was discussing with the URA admin about this, they say, so Nazri, how are you going to prove your attendance? So just to show this, using Google, look at this. I have the whole list of people participating here. And then when I ask you guys in chat, let's say for example, okay, who are you sharing your device or laptop or thing with? I can use that answer. And here's the thing, I'm the rajin to write report, guys. I like to write reports. I know some lecturers don't like doing that. So I will just write a report, okay, this is my class, and I did it from timing sekian-sekian. I did it for this amount of time. Where's my timer? Bawah tu. Let me put it closer.
I can actually, oh god, the camera has a very bad focus blur, whatever it is. But down there is actually how long the class has been going on. So, URA will know that my class has gone on for that long. And then they can also see the class online. So I have all the evidences. And I think, was it last year? Last year, December, I actually presented about this at a conference and everybody's like, "Wow, this is actually a good way to teach." I mean, this is what you call online learning when you actually interact with the lecturer. Plus, a bit of self promotion here. I know I don't do this often. I actually do my own live streams on Twitch as well. You can join me, but when I do my normal live stream, it's not education. It's usually music stuff or game stuff. But that's for later. Okay, let's focus on the important part, which is education. All right, but I'm glad that everybody is fine with this. For classes, normally I do it on YouTube because YouTube Live has a function where it adapts the quality of the video to the quality of the internet of the viewer. So no matter how bad your internet is, YouTube has this algorithm thing going on where it somehow can make it suit you guys, all right? Whereas when I do gaming stuff on Twitch, Twitch is a little bit more like, I'm not saying Twitch is bad, but Twitch requires a slightly better speed at times because high quality gaming stuff can. But never mind, that's a different topic altogether. I'm glad that everybody's enjoying this and thinks it's interesting. And you might find that certain topics are easier to do this way, all right? Just that I didn't have enough time to set up the software for like the typing and everything. But paper and pen over here, that replaces a whiteboard, right? I think I need a marker pen later on. Lakot. All right. Now let's talk about bar. Okay, bar is not Bachelor of Arabic. Okay, bar. Never mind. What is bar? Bar stands for bigger, and then add, and then replace. So what the heck is bigger, add, and replace? Okay, I'll give an example. How many of you have skated before? How many of you have a skateboard? I know skateboarding is not common in Malaysia, right? But you probably know what a skateboard is, right? So if I were to draw a skateboard, okay, my drawing is bad at skateboards. I can draw anime, but not skateboards, whatever. So a skateboard is basically a papan, and then there are wheels, right? That's how a skateboard looks like. So the bar technique, you do it in order. First of all, what can we make bigger on a skateboard? So for example, let's make the board bigger, a bigger board. So contohnya bigger ke belakang like this, okay? So wheel, and then bigger this way. Now that you have more space over here, second step, B, and then A. What can you add to the board? Tiap-tiap tambah roket lah. Contoh lah, alright? Example. We're being crazy here. Be creative, alright? Add a rocket. Oh boy. And then R, replace. What can you change? Instead of a small wheel, replace it with a bigger wheel, for example. Or replace the wood with maybe metal, for example. So that's bar. Simple. First, make the item bigger, and then once it's bigger, what can you add, and then what can you replace? So far, can you understand the concept? I know it sounds very weird, but let me find an example to show you guys. Well, let me type this out for you guys, just to explain what it means. Okay, I hope people don't feel, what's the word? Glee looking at this. This is not a bad thing, but hold on. I'm trying to find the image online, and I kind of like I'm a bit malas to open the share screen function because it takes a while to set up. So tada, webcam. Okay, this is a picture of a toilet in Japan, right? So normally toilet is just a mangkok jamban. Oh my god, that sounds so crude, right? And then yeah, you do your business there, right? So the Japanese are very good at bar. Why?
So first they make the toilet slightly bigger. There's a part at the side here, and then they make this part big. And then what can you add? You can add a panel with so many different functions, all right? And then what can you replace? Did you know that in Japan, this is not ordinary plastic? This is a special kind of material that can be controlled by the controls here. What can you do with the controls here? Number one, you can control the heat of the seat. Now, how many of you, when you use a toilet, ya Allah, sejuknya toilet ni, like that, right? Terus tak jadi. But in Japan, you can even control the temperature of the toilets, which is kind of crazy. Temperature of toilet seat. And then the more awesome part, because I actually been to Japan back in 2015 and 2017, you can even control the vibration of the toilet seat. Macam, like I don't know why you want a vibrating toilet seat. Yeah, air dryer, the bidet, they added everything to it, all right? And there was this one toilet I went through. Where was it? In, what's the name of that place? Was it in Fukuoka or something back in 2017? No. I think it was in, yeah, music. There was a USB port on the toilet, like at the side here, kan? All right. I'll try to find the picture on my phone later on, right? Somewhere here, there was a USB port, and then over here, volume. And I'm like, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Who would have thought of this? So, bar is about, what creative things can you do if you simply make things bigger? Sometimes increasing the size of something allows you to add and replace a lot of things, all right? Seriously, there's so much you can do if you make something slightly bigger. For example, let's say, okay, enough with the toilet seat. I know some people don't like looking at the jamban, right? And that's like the worst sight in the world for some people. But again, Japanese toilets are so ridiculously clean. Let's say, for example, if let's talk about our chairs in URA, right? Once upon a time, chairs were just chairs. And then some smart fella thought, hey, let's make the ranker a bit bigger so that we can add a flip table, right? So when you make things slightly bigger, you have space to add things, and then you can replace things as well. Okay, let's discuss. What else can you add to a chair to make it more conducive for learning? What do you wish our chairs had in class? Brainstorm, guys. Oh yes, left-handed desk. Oh, you're left-handed, Christina? Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I've always, yeah, that's the thing, I wish, but then it's hard because I guess, the one thing they should have asked when students register is to see how many students are right-handed and how many students are left-handed. It's something that a lot of right-handed people kind of take for granted. They don't know how hard it is for left-handed people when things are not made for them. But yeah, that's actually a very good idea. Like a left, they could add like a swivel function, or better yet, a flip table that covers the whole lap. So tak kisah you're left-handed or right-handed, it suits both hands, right? Yeah, that's actually a good idea. You should suggest that to orang atas, whatever, kan? A bottle holder, yes, because if a bottle you leave it on the floor, if somebody kicks it and it's open, it might spill, right? That's very nice. Left-handed table cushion. Ooh, yeah, I have to say the cushion on of the chairs we have sometimes are not comfortable. Compartment boleh simpan meja. Okay, if you go to Jurjani Lecture Hall A, is it Lecture Hall 1 or Lecture Hall 2? They actually have the compartment to keep the table. All right. Whoa, USB for chair. That's actually a good idea. Bigger desk, definitely. I agree with bigger desk. I totally agree with bigger desk. Anis, what are you talking about there? If not discussed, sometimes it's disturbing. Which part is disturbing? Is it the iPad that's disturbing, or is it the table that's disturbing? Wow, bag holder. This is something I never thought of this. Said, you should write down the idea somewhere. Bag holder. That's a very, very, very creative idea. That is so creative. Respect. Because there are a lot of cases worldwide where people either steal your bags outside class, or people curi barang lang tu. The table. Yeah, I have to admit, it's like sometimes kan tengah bincang kan, like, alah, table ni kacau lah, or you want to stack or do stuff. Yeah, it's like the people who made the chair never used a chair before. Hey, that's actually a good one to think about. This is actually very, very good. All right. But yeah, I have to admit that sometimes the desk is too small for class to be good. And then I have to admit that sometimes, for left-handed people, because I have a lot of left-handed friends, by the way. So yeah. Are the chairs comfortable, by the way? Because I feel like the chairs are too small because I'm tall, and I feel like it hurts my back to have to like bend down. I wish the back is actually bigger. And what's awesome about bar is that you can think of the possibilities for anything. What if the table is bigger? What if your room is bigger? What can you add? What if your I had a student last time, sir, what if our heart is bigger? I was like, Ya Allah, heart is bigger. Pula dah, what can you add? More iman? That's funny, man. What can you replace there in your heart? Okay, that sounds wrong. But yeah, there you go, right? It really works for a lot of things. In other words, salute, yeah. So in other words, the thing about bar is that, when there's a little bit more size, it changes things. So that is basic level thinking skills. If you ever take this subject later in an advanced level, maybe degree or masters, I forgot the name of the technique, but there are also things that you can do when things are smaller. Right now, we are learning what can you do if it's bigger, right? There are also a lot of things that you can do when things are smaller. And I'm not promoting IKEA. If IKEA representatives are listening to my stream, please pay me 1,000 ringgit. Thank you. One thing I like about IKEA or IKEA, however you pronounce it, is that they know how to play with size. All right. If you've ever been to their shop, just go there, look at how creative they are with small spaces. They are amazing with small space. It's like they can add everything in the smallest room possible. It's crazy. Swedish people are their art is crazy. Or here's the thing. I'll type the name of the show here. Okay, there's this one Japanese show called Before and After. It's a Japanese show. It's a TV show that where they renovate and they what I call this. They help people with really small houses. They try to improve the lives. All right, and that's the thing. Japan, it's a very not to say it's a small country, but it's a very heavily populated country. There's not enough land for people unless you're really really rich. All right, so they don't have that much space, but they have a lot of items. The Japanese are experts at making small spaces become really crazy and big and spacious. We should Google, before and after and see the crazy renovations they make and how they sumbat everything in the most creative way possible. I forgot the name of the technique though. But yeah, when you make things Mary Kondo, she campak benda tau. She's like reducing things. That's another. Mary Kon is like a totally different method. This is before Mary Kondo. There are other ways. Mary Kondo is like only one of the more modern ones, but the classic ones they do a lot of crazy stuff as well. But yeah, Mary Kondo, what does this thing spark joy? But yeah, that's the thing. And one thing I have to tell you guys, what we learned so far about Tony Ryan and even previously Court, these are not everything. All right, there's actually a lot more when it comes to Court and Tinker's keys. In fact, there are so many methods, but this is not a subject about them. This is a subject about the possibilities of what you can do if you think differently, all right? So yes, guys, we have just officially finished the entire chapter in one class. Any questions? This is actually a short chapter, a short but very interesting chapter. Okay, any questions so far about Tinker's Keys? And yes, Court and Tinker's Keys are important chapters, and I cover them first because they are really important. The rest, not to say they're not important, but once you understand Court and what you call this, Court and Tinker's Keys, the rest become very easy. And by the way, I haven't gotten the date from the department yet, but I believe your midterm will be. Wait, is it the week after the break or 2 weeks after the break? I think it's 2 weeks after the break, but I'll update you guys, alright? Because right now, if you notice, all the lecturers are so busy with a lot of things, even me included, which is why sometimes I don't like being late. But when I'm at home, it's hard to be late because, I have no reason to be late. Nobody's here to disturb me at home. So yeah, any questions anyway about Court and Tinker's Keys? And by the way, one thing I've done last 2 years, I even have done online consultation sessions. So some people can actually, if you guys don't have time for, let's say you don't have time to consult me because your schedules are just crazy or your other subjects busy killer, I can actually make some time. Everybody consult me online. I can do that. I don't mind because to me the students are important. That's why I do this job. I don't do the job for myself. I do it for you guys. All right. Oh no, so I assume that Tinker's Keys is easy for you guys. Oh, by the way, if Tinker's Keys comes out, usually it's 4 to 5 marks. It's quite significant actually. 4 to 5 marks. The paper is 20 marks, so that's almost a quarter of your paper. By the way, at a time when Pahang is so hot, Malaysia in general is hot, please drink enough water. Che, suddenly advertisement here. And stay hydrated. Okay, so everybody understands that. Okay, now I think it's a good time for me to talk about P2. Oh, you don't have any other class after this, right? Can somebody remind me how many hours do I hutang you guys? 'Cause I know I missed a few classes. Because if you guys have time, then I might extend this for another half an hour so I can ganti slowly, so I can have less replacement classes. Plus, I think the vibe now is very good, right? Everybody's enjoying themselves and all, right? Everybody's like, for some reason, you guys are actually more responsive online. So I actually like this vibe. This is a good one. Let's keep this up. Let's keep this hype going on. Okay, let's talk about P2. Okay, hold on. Let me just get my files ready. Only 2 hours. Okay. Maybe I'll ganti half. I'll do half an hour ganti here, so another 1.5 hour we can do it later. Okay, let's see. P2. I have too many documents. I really need to clean up. Plus, we could do okay. So I won't do it too long. Maybe I'll just add maybe 20 minutes. Plus, you guys are in your room, right? So it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Inshallah lah. Inshallah. And sorry if sometimes I get confused because the assignments change every semester, right? And when it comes to this subject, thinking skills, normally I teach it like selang semester or selang tahun tau. So let's say if I teach it, the last time I taught this subject was 2018. So 2019 I never taught the subject at all. So 1 year gap aja, the subject has changed so much. So I guess like, what? You are A, oh, you are A. You never fail to surprise me. So even the marking and what to do for P1, P2 has changed quite considerably, right? It's like I've been teaching in UA since 2012, and this subject has already changed like 6 or 7 times in the past 8 years. So I get confused sometimes. I apologize in advance. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about P2. So you've done your P1. I am very happy with how you guys did. You guys actually surprised me with P1 with the maturity of your thought and how you guys, chose your topics. Maybe there were problems in finding facts. I actually understand that, because the way school teaches us is just to hafal, not to really understand 100%. But now that you guys are in university, inshallah, you think at a more mature level. Okay, P2 is part 2 of your project, basically, is when you guys are going to, okay, by the way, please refer to your assessment plan file. Oh, by the way, if you have printed it out lah. If not, just talk about it. Okay, where's the file on my computer? Pula, mana dia pergi? Identifying problem, you're done. Okay, now this next part is worth 7 marks. Okay, so what do you have to do? You have to think of a solution for your topic. All right. What topic is it that you guys tak? Let me choose a topic that korang tak buat. I cannot give the answer, right? Let's say the topic is kejap. Apa topik yang korang tak buat? Okay, let's say lah, contoh dia, the topic is, okay, let's say I think somebody did theft, right? No, I'm not going to help you guys over there. No, I cannot give the answer. Otherwise, full mark tak aci kan. Okay, let's talk about solat lah, right? Nobody is doing solat awareness, right? Permasalahan yang orang tak solat ataupun, Yeah, I'm surprised nobody did that, solat. Okay, so let's say solat is the problem. Now, you want to solve the problem of budak UAE tak solat. Ooh, which I think it does happen, right? But again, we are human and nobody is perfect. We try to help each other lah kan. So, if solat is your problem, you want to come up with a solution. So now, you need to use both court and thinker's key to create a solution. This is not about simply tembak buat solution, no. You have to use court and thinker's key. Alright, so if you look at the, what you call this, part here, so 1 mark for each tool applied with justification why you use it. Alright, so you have to use 5 tools. It can be any combination, maybe 3 from court and 2 from thinker's keys, or 4 from thinker's key and 1 from court, as long as you use both court and thinker's key. The nisbah dia tak kisah, alright? But you have to use both together. That's the challenge. And then you have to justify, kenapa guna PMI? Why do you start with PMI? Alright? So for the process of using both court and thinker's key, 1 mark for each tool used correctly. If you use it wrongly, habis markah jahanam. And then for having come to a solution and the solution is a proper solution, 1 mark. And then the solution details, what the solution is all about, 1 mark as well. Okay, I'll show you for example, alright? So let's say your problem is solat. Okay, so maybe you tell yourself, okay, I want to start, solat, orang tak solat. Macam mana kita nak selesaikan masalah orang tak solat Let's think about the factors first. So, okay, you start with CAF. Why? Because with your group justification, you have to understand the factor before actually, before actually doing it. So factor maybe ada orang malas, or for example, kurang didikan agama, not enough education, or for example, not aware, or some people are just Muslim by name but you don't really practice it. You know what I mean here, right? And then you have several factors. Which factor to choose? So you use a second tool. How do you choose? Maybe you want to do a PMI. So Illustrate. Okay, PMI, you have done a PMI on each tool. And out of all of them, you found that the one that has the most interesting points maybe is not aware. Like, it's interesting, right? How can people who are Muslim not be aware about Salat? That's an interesting thing. So you found out that people are not aware about Salat. So maybe from there you move on to the disadvantage technique. So what is the disadvantage of Muslims not being aware? All right, and then you found out that when people are not aware, it gives a bad impression to other religions. People like, you ni Muslim tapi tak tahu solat, tak tahu bila nak solat. Solat subuh dia kata pukul 3 petang. Oh, benda tu subuh apa ni? Subuh kanti ke? I don't know, right? Then how do you improve that? Maybe improvement is by, for example, not just solat jemaah, but actually really understanding the meaning of jemaah, which I think is very, very interesting as well. It's an interesting improvement because we talk about kepentingan solat jemaah, but we don't understand the meaning of jemaah itself. All right, from jamaah, right? Uh, because jamaah or the not masdar, the fa'il, right? Jami', right? It has the meaning of kumpul, to gather, not together, but together. All right. So when you have the word together, somebody has to be gathering, right? Somebody yang kena mengumpulkan. Bukan you harap orang berkumpul macam tu je kan? So think about it. We want people to solat at the masjid, but who is making us solat there? Nobody. There are not enough Muslims who are promoting solat jamaah at the masjid. So you found the improvement is we need to really understand the concept of jamaah. So you do it until you have done at least 5 different tools, and then you arrive at your solution. So this is the solution that you propose. All right? And then from your solution, details. How do you do the solution? So for each step, if it's done properly, 1 mark. All right? And then from there, what is the solution and what are the details? And all of this has to be influenced by every step that you take. Okay, so far, any questions about that? That is my simple illustration. And if you guys don't understand that, well, this video will be kept online. So just come back to my channel and view this part of the video. And I think this part I just mentioned is at 1 hour 55 minutes. So you can know which timestamp to go back to, right? Okay, any questions so far about P2? Take your time and think about this one because this one is where I will really test your knowledge of what you call this? All the tools. And that's why I'm covering the tools first to help your project. Because I don't want to confuse you with all the other things. Like for example, inductive, deductive. I don't want to confuse you guys with standards because that's for the exam more than the project. The project is more important at the moment. I don't believe in confusing students that much. Okay, kena buat hard copy or not? Okay, thanks for asking. That is from Nurul, right? Okay, let me check because here's the thing. This subject kejap ada borang, kejap tak ada. Even I get annoyed sometimes. I think there is a form for this. I will double check with my department if there's a form for P2. Hello, yeah, voice. Kenapa voice? Is my voice clear? Dipecah ke? Or is my voice missing all of a sudden? Did something happen? Okay, Anis. Oh, muffled. Okay, is it clear now? Is it tadi muffled? Is it muffled now? I already changed the setting on my. Let me try to alter the settings. Okay, is it muffled now? Hold on, let me change the settings lagi sikit. Filter. What should I add? It's muffled, right? Maybe I should Test, test. Is it clearer now? We should add as well a test, test. Is it clear now, my voice? Does it sound different? I don't know how it sounds like. I'm using my earphones, unfortunately. I hope it's less muffled now. Okay, Anis, can you like rephrase a question? I'm not sure what you mean there. So this is something that you might want to discuss with your group mates today or tomorrow if you have time, or over the holidays, maybe over WhatsApp or anything, you know. And take your time to think about it, by the way. I don't mind. Okay, bar. Ada apa dengan bar? Okay, if you use bar, you have to use everything. So you have to use B and then A and R. You have to know how to use the tool. You cannot just, okay, when it comes to Tony Ryan, you have to use everything in that tool. So for example, kalau you buat bar, you must start with B and then A and then R. Ah, yes, I actually changed the filter on my microphone here. Because I have the microphone setting. By the way, not to promote or anything, but seriously, you guys should, if you have time, do learn how to use. Oh, that's a very cool effect there, by the way. Kan. Do learn to use all this software. A lot of amazing software is free of charge. I use this software to do video game streams actually, but it actually works for classes as well. And I think in Malaysia, there's only one or two other lecturers who use this software for classes, other than me, all right? It's useful for everything. You can use this for online discussions. You can use this software. It's called OBS, Open Broadcast Software. It's very powerful. Check it out, learn it, because IT skills are very important, all right? Okay, anyway, so yeah, so you have to know how to use the tool. If it's bar, you have to use bar. It's not like APC. Kalau APC, you can choose nak guna A or P or C. If it's PMI, you have to use all three. PMI, then list out, and then you find, oh, Nia, interesting. That's how it works. So I believe in the textbook, there are explanations, detailed explanation of how to use the tools. Make sure you read and try to apply it. And then if you don't understand, we can discuss on WhatsApp. By the way, I would love to see a discussion on WhatsApp. I haven't seen this from you guys yet, all right? So itulah. And then if it's AGO, you can use one of them. It can be an aim or a goal or an object or an objective. If it's CNS, it has to be both. You have to have the consequence and the sequel. And then if it's Tula, you have to be very careful. If it's disadvantages, you have to have the improvements sekali. So you have to know how to properly use the tools. I do not mind explaining again. I would love to explain again. That's my job anyway, right? Okay, when to do the P2, because I do understand that all of us have crazy schedules and we have a syllabus to kejar juga. So okay, next week is a holiday, right? So when you are back from your holiday, make an appointment with me. Oh, why is YouTube blocking this message? It thinks it's spam. Where's my mouse? Okay, this is from DV. Sir, hari tu ajar FIP, AGO, CF. All three of them are different tools. FIP is different from AGO. AGO is different from CAF. This is actually where students terperangkap. All three are different. So those are three different tools. But do you know how to use them? And have you used them properly or not? This is the one part where some people easily lose marks. I don't want this to happen. For example, let's say bar kan, dia guna yang bigger saja. then they loop add and replace, you automatically lose 1 mark because you didn't use the tool properly. And then if that improper use, let's say for example after bar, you're going to disadvantage. But if your bigger part is already wrong, the disadvantage also gets affected by it. So you lose mark at disadvantage as well, lose 1 mark. And then let's say for example, your disadvantage tak betul. And then you're doing the next step based on that and it's done incorrectly, dia akan, what you call this? It's like a domino effect. So make sure every step is correct. You don't want to lose the marks in a chain domino effect like that. Be very careful. So DV, nice question there. Okay, Cik Ifa, sorry I terberhenti jawab tadi. Okay, so when to present? Okay, the week after the break, make an appointment with me. Set a time. We'll see if I'm free or not. And then you can present in my room. I think that's fair, right? And I believe the other lecturers are also doing it that way, just present in the room. Because right now we are all like totally chasing for a lot of syllabus. Plus, I'm also teaching writing skills, so like my mind is like going haywire right now. Any other questions? And of course, you have to stick to the topic that you decided on last time. So be very careful. Any other questions about what call this? About present berapa lama? Oh, thanks for asking. Not too long, maybe just like at most 10 minutes. Very fast, right? But again, it depends because after you present, I will give a lot of feedback face to face. That's why I want to do this in my room so that I can give personal feedback. I can tell you what went wrong and what can be improved and all that. So we can take like maybe like if you're fast, the fastest that has ever been done is the fastest was group siapa eh? I think it was what's her name? Najwa Fitri. Najwa Fitri was my student back in 2015, 16 year batch. Oh my god, I'm so old now. 5 years ago in batch. That class had both the shortest and the longest P2. There was one group that did P2 in only 6 minutes, and there's one group that setengah jam P2 with me because we were like really going detail. I was like, kenapa you punya macam ni? Then it's tak macam ni, tapi macam ni. Then tapi, back and forth. It got really, really intense. All right. And yes, of course, there's a Q&A. I'm very curious. I will always ask. Okay, good question because I was actually asking the other lecturers and initially they kata tak bayar. And then the other day when I asked them, they kata kena pula. So I'm like, what the heck? I was quite surprised. So apparently, hold on a sec. Thanks for asking me, by the way, Anis Sophia. So itulah because to be honest with you, even URA changes macam semester ni buat, semester ni tak payah buat, semester ni buat. So it gets very confusing for me because I don't teach this subject every semester. I teach selang semester, right? Selang tahun actually. So let me see. P3 kena buat ke tak this time? Hold on a second. Okay. Let me message the guy who made the syllabus, by the way. I personally know the person, all right? Because I don't want to be, because there was a discussion on the staff group about this. So I don't understand 100%. Right? I'm asking the guy. Okay, hold on. Thanks for the question, Anis. Exceeding 2 pages. Okay, I got a reply here. Okay. This one is a bit weird. I really feel a bit weird. Okay, here's the thing. I got the answer. Yeah. So apparently this semester, unlike last semester where you just have to propose, which means you macam bentangkan idea yang you nak laksanakan, this semester punya you have to do it. So in other words, when you do your P2, you have to use the tools to identify what kind of solution is practical within campus. Benda yang boleh dibuat and benda yang tak menyusahkan and not overly ambitious. Something that you know is doable. So be practical. For example, janganlah solution you buat robot. Do you have the money and time to do a robot? No. Unless you are a genius and I never knew about this. But we are all geniuses in different ways, all right? We are not science students, we are not robotics students. But if any of you are into robotics, please let me know because I love robots. I love that kind of technology. I wish I was good at that. All right. So apparently this semester the reply I got is yes, you have to do the project and you have to have an evidence. But then the one that we're discussing is kenapa evidence project they only 1 mark, which is kind of funny. Like buat susah-susah. Okay, so the explanation I got is the reason is only 1 mark is so that your project is not over ambitious. So you have to do it and you have to have evidence that it has been done. Either you ada gambar or you have macam feedback from people or you know you can show the changes yang jadi. As usual, Farah Yasmin, yes. The one that present cannot be the one answering the Q&A. So make sure, guys, when you're thinking of the solution, think of what can be done on campus or what can be done with what you have. Think of what you can do with your limitations. Be creative, all right? Now, one thing that is really, I really have to emphasize, all of you have a smartphone, all right? Please don't let the phone be smarter than you. Because seriously, the smartphone is incredibly powerful, especially if you're an iPhone user. The iPhone to me is one of the most underutilized phone ever. Huawei, all these phones are powerful tau. Do you know that with the iPhone, you can make music and be a musician and make money out of it? That's why the phone is expensive. It's an investment so you can actually produce things. But I find that many Malaysians, they spend so much money on a phone tapi tak balik modal tau. You know what I mean? Like you spend like 3,000 on a phone, do you get back that 3,000 in money? I encourage students to do things where you truly utilize your money's worth tau. Because I'm the kind of person, if I spend 2,000, I want to get back that 2,000. I want that 2,000 to be totally worth it. Bukan bazir on something that's useless or whatever it is. I want it to be useful somehow, all right? So one thing I have to say is that students really are not utilizing the phones to the full potential, all right? For example, like you know, the quality of camera phones are really amazing. You know, you can make amazing videos just with a camera phone. Maybe you can do a video project or whatever it is. Be creative. This time, Christina, okay, it's not like last time. So let's say, for example, contoh lah, all right? We only count this presentation. So let's say, for example, Christina, okay, contoh, let's say your group, okay? So let's say for this presentation, Christina present. Let's say contoh lah, contoh. I forgot who's in your group. Let's say in your previous group, contohnya Anis present. This time Anis can answer. And except if Anis also present this time. Ada lain cerita, okay? So guys, I'm very excited to see what kind of solutions you can do that, you know, you can do within your limitations. Do something creative. Do something yang orang tak terfikir. One of the most creative, I keep on saying this every semester, is the one yang they're jogging around campus. They don't have to spend a cent. They just have to, jog around the corridors, and they got people attracted. They ambil video, they took pictures, they got feedback from people, and people were hooked. People were into it. It was so nice seeing people exercising in URA. That was just a joy to watch. Do something that people tak terfikir. Remember, you guys have a lot, and we often take for granted all these things, tau. All right? Be creative, be creative. And by the way, I'll end the class in another 10 minutes. So kira I dah buat 2 jam setengah. So I only owe you guys an hour and a half lah. All right? Any other questions? Or you want me to re-explain anything? Mitafakur, you're still in the dark. PMI, you're in the dark. Tony, Ryan, Tinkerkey, you're in the dark. P2, you're in the dark. Okay, any other concerns about the project? Because I know this is the more critical one. P2 is very critical. And by the way, after the break, after the midterm break, we're going to have a lot of things going on. It's like we're going to change gears and make things very, very, I would say, critical. Okay, what do I mean by that? Okay, what's going to happen after the holiday? You'll be doing your P2, then you'll be working on your project, and then you have your midterm, which I hope you guys score, inshallah. I always pray for my students. But if you get low marks, don't worry. Marks are dunyawi. Marks don't determine whether you're an alim, or it doesn't determine whether you're someone with iman or not. Iman is not determined by marks. All right, Allah determines your iman and your effort, of course. All right. We're going to have something called the IBD. So if you check your assessment plan, there's one part there called inquiry-based discussion. So this is worth 20 marks. I will teach you how to do it. I'll show you how it's done. So basically, what will happen is that on the spot, I will give you a topic, and then I will record and watch how you discuss. All right? Based on how you discuss in your group, it means, for example, how you think, how you ask each other questions, how you brainstorm, how you use every technique taught in the subject, I will give you marks. So let's say, for example, all right, contohnya, let's say, I'll take some random names here. Let's say, for example, Tira, Nurul, Anis, Ifa are in a group, the four of you, contohnya lah, contoh, okay? So I give you a topic. Contoh topic you is contohnya child abuse, okay? And then you discuss. Seorang ni gosip je, mengacau orang je. Seorang ni has the tool but tak reti guna. Dia just kata, kita guna tool ni, guna tool tu. One of them actually uses the tools properly and is generating ideas. Seorang diam je. So probably this person will get 8 marks. This person probably just get 3 marks. 1 mark, 0. So I look at the quality of the discussion. So that will be a very critical part, because it's 20 marks just from how you talk to your group mates. And this will be a lot of fun. Some people think it's fun because, yeah, you don't have to write anything, you just talk. But if you are very, very, how to say, not used to discussing ideas with people in a very disciplined manner, it might be a tough one. We will have practice sessions and some ice breaking sessions for that as well. That's a lot of fun. Yes, individual. So you have to discuss 2 topics. So each topic 10 marks. The marks are completely individual. Last year it was 30 marks. So lagi berat. Sekarang we like ringankan a bit. So this is the make it or break it part of the subject. If you do this one well, you have like at least 15 marks in your hand. And this one I purposely keep for after the break so that you can have more tools to use and more techniques to use. And then also during your break, you might want to start thinking for your journal as well. So if you look at your what you call this, if you look at your rubrics, you have to do a journal. You know what a journal is, right? I don't think I have to explain that, but if you don't know, I can explain. So it's like you can say like a diary or a report of your experiences and all that. IBD group, ikut your group. It depends on your group. So let's say kalau group you empat orang tu lah dalam IBD tu. Not following the name list, it's following the group. So we go by group. And that will be very interesting. So make sure you are close to your group mates. One thing I like to suggest, especially for any group work, is make sure that you guys pernah, your existing group, the same important. My suggestion, I know this sounds a bit macam, I'm not berlagak alim or anything. First of all, if possible, try to have solat jemaah at least once with all the group mates. It really makes a difference. Solat sama-sama. Or, if you all are girls, you all one gender je kan. Or kalau tak solat sama-sama, at least, lepak kat bilik. At least, come to one person's room once at least. Or, have an overnight at least once. Spend time together, quality time, just bonding together. And I always recommend have at least one lunch and one dinner together as a group. You have to really connect and learn each other's chemistry. This is a very important skill for IBD and a lot of group projects because if you guys bond well, it makes the process a lot easier. Trust me on this. All right. So yes, the existing group. If you have any issues with your group mates, please get them settled because it will affect everything. Yeah, this subject, one of the tough part is that if you have a problem with your group, every single assessment will be affected. So please settle things if possible. Okay. Anything else, guys? Oh, by the way, somebody mentioned earlier. This is just a random thing to lighten up the mood. Something about the sound or the music, right? Like, say, for example, when I do this screen, this be right back screen, you hear a music, right? And when I do this, there's a song as well, right? A little bit of self promotion. That's actually a song I wrote and composed myself. Yeah, so you guys should learn to be creative and do things. It's fun. Yeah, guys. Anything else? Or everybody is hungry for lunch, me included. I'm actually hungry. Very good question, Tira. Relate concepts. Everything we learn in class are concepts. How would you relate what we learn to your experience? Okay, let's say I'll give an example, all right? Let's say contohnya, this is the first time you're working in a group with these people, all right? And it's the first time you terfikir like, how do I do a survey? Let's say you tak pernah buat survey in your life, and your group mates have never done it. And then you're thinking, susah lah how to do this. And then, maybe you found that, the disadvantage technique help you see the situation differently, contohnya. Or maybe tafakur helps you, not give up in the situation, contohnya. Anything. All right. So basically, you try to relate anything we learn in class to anything you do for this subject. All right. or anything you do in URA for that matter, but try to relate it to this subject lah. All right? Am I clear there, or do you need me to explain more? Oh, by the way, I really like this because I get my leg really gets enough rest. Because my leg is kind of overused from all the driving and walking and everything. Ah, okay, that's great to know. Yeah, guys, yeah, I think I saw your name on IG or something because I tend to remember names that I see on IG. Not that I want you to, not that I want you to follow me or stuff, but normally if I see the name often, I remember more often. Let's see, are they now clear for us? Tira, real life? Yes, yes, of course, real life, not your fake life. Yeah, for example, let's say, let's say contohnya, I'll give an example lah, but don't tiru my ayat berbulat lah, okay? Let's say, for example, you want to do a survey, right? And then maybe your brother or your parents pernah buat survey dalam the life. Maybe kerja dia memang survey orang punya opinion, contohnya lah, right? And then you are scared of, asking your siblings for help. And then suddenly you thought about the PMI technique. Hey, maybe I should ask. So you list down, okay, ni the pluses of asking your siblings for help. Ni the minus of asking your sibling for help. This is the interesting part of asking your sibling for help. Macam tu lah. Because all these techniques, okay, here's one thing that not many people know tau. All these things we learn in this subject is basically we're learning how to solve problems in a non-typical way. The reason is because, sorry to say, our Muslim community and our Malay community in particular, we are pretty bad at solving problems. So we have to be taught how to solve problems because sometimes if you just pakai fikir je, how do I say this? Sometimes the ideas might be influenced by emotions, sometimes the ideas might be influenced by politics, sometimes it might be influenced by anger. So all these skills I'm teaching is a way of being objective, it's a way of being creative, it's a way of coming up with practical ways to solve any problem. All right, not, of course, health problem, be doctor lah, all right. But anything else you want to solve problems, there are creative, proper ways to think about things. All right, it is because of the lack of thinking skills that you get people who do bad things, people who do crazy things, people who, how do I say, fikir benda yang melalut and all that. It's because of that, all right? So that's why we learn this subject. Each entry essay. Or what do you mean by small sections? It depends. How do you write a diary? Sometimes diary, some people might do mini sections and all that. It's fine as long as it's not point form. As long as it's not point form, and it has to be more than 250 words per entry. So let's say, for example, okay, hari ni 5 hari bulan contohnya. Today is not 5th. Today is not 5th, sorry. Today is 11th, all right? So 11th, your experience on the 11th, more than 250 words, all right? I think that's understandable, right? Oh yeah, and there's a minor correction, I think. Where's the correction? Yeah. Okay, even though it says 2 entries there, I would recommend at least 2. Maybe you want to write 3 or 4. Why? Because after writing a lot, I want you to choose the best 2 entries that you want to show to me. All right? So keep on writing throughout the semester. Maybe write 5 or 6. And then at the end, compile them and then choose the best 2. Don't make me choose. You choose, okay? Anything else? By the way, is the sound quality better now or better before? Because I actually changed the settings on my microphone just now. I feel like this is a very productive session, by the way. I really enjoy this. It is better. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Because I'm actually learning how to do audio setup on this laptop, and it's wow, it's there are a lot of settings. It kind of blew my mind, but it's great. Now it's better. Thank you. Feedback is always important. Okay, anything else, guys? Because we are practically at the end of our class now. And seriously, thank you, everybody. All right, so if there's nothing else, thank you, everybody, for making the time to participate. I really appreciate it. I think this class wouldn't have been a success if it weren't for all the participation and all the ideas we discussed and everything. I really appreciate it. And I like the crazy humor you guys have, and some of the crazy ideas, like the watch idea and all that. You guys have a lot of potential. Never forget, that you guys are not bad. You guys are capable of a lot of good things. You just sometimes might not see it yet, all right? So, all the best for thinking about P2. And if you have classes tomorrow, all the best. And with all the health issues going on, there are a lot of like news about COVID-19 going on. Please be careful, all right? If you feel like something is wrong with you, try to reduce contact with people, drink enough water, and please see a doctor if something is wrong. Okay, don't assume anything. We live in a day and age where, some people kata akhir zaman kan, yang penyakit muda menggila and all that. Just be careful, guys. And for the holidays, enjoy yourself, but try not to travel too much. Don't go overseas if possible, because it's a dangerous time now. Enjoy yourselves, enjoy the break, and come back in one piece. Yeah, don't come back in pieces after the holiday, please. Sorry I couldn't be there physically, but technology really helps. Thanks to technology, thanks to all the crazy scientists, and thanks to Allah for giving the ilham to the scientists to create all this amazing technology. All right, and thanks everyone for making this class cool and happening and everything. All right, so anything else discuss on the group? I need to have lunch soon as well. I think you guys are hungry, so have a good lunch. Jangan lupa baca doa as well. And if you are able to pray, do perform duha prayers because it does change your life, all right? So, Nazrik here. Oh, by the way, if you guys are interested, later tonight I'm also streaming on YouTube. I have writing skills replacement class. I'm doing that tonight, inshallah. If you want, if you guys miss writing skills and APA style, I'm doing that tonight. And then maybe tomorrow or on Friday or the weekends, I'll be doing my game stuff, but that's on Twitch. That's another thing altogether. And of course, I like to be reachable. So anything you want to ask, you can ask me on WhatsApp, you can ask me through email, or let's say, for example, you happen to be watching me playing games online. Even at that time, I don't mind academic questions. I don't mind, that I just love teaching and all that. All right. So until next time, Assalamualaikum, guys. See you and have a good lunch.